with young people across the USA. The sport is skateboarding, and it's come a long way since those early days, all the way to Huntington Beach, California, and the OP Pro Skateboard Championship. Hi everyone, I'm Steve Jam, and we're going to show you some hot action, some hot skateboarding, some of the top skateboarders in the world. So stay with us, we'll be right back. For the OP Pro Skateboard Championship. I'm Steve Jam calling the action for you today. There are actually several different styles of skateboarding. Right now we're watching half-pipe ramp skateboarding. Let's meet today's competitors. Mickey Alba, 21 years old. He's been skating for 13 years, 8 of them as a pro. Jim Gray, 24 years old. He's married and has been skating professionally for 5 years. Christian Hosoi, 19 years old and currently ranked number 4 in the world. Tony Magnusson, 23 years old, originally from Sweden. He's been a pro for 6 years. And Steve Stedham, 24 years old, a 3-year pro, and a part-time rock band drummer. Those are the skaters who'll be competing on the half-pipe ramp today in what will be a jam session contest format. The skaters will take turns on the ramp skating until they fall or stop of their own accord. They go back and forth, up and down on the ramp, trying to get as much air as possible. Now, the judges are going to be looking for the different types of maneuvers they do each time they hit the top of the ramp. This is called an air. It's a judo air. You saw him kick his foot out. He's trying to get as much height as possible. Also, they're trying to twist in the air and position themselves so that they're ready to make the run down the other side of the ramp. One of the things that they're scored on is the consistency of their moves. They keep the momentum flowing. It's a very liquid type of performance. Now, each one of these tricks at the top of the ramp has a name. Here we see Jim Gray showing us a tail slide, and he's back down the other side, ready for another run. That's a 360 twist. And the ultimate move, the Mick twist, 1.5 rotations in the air, back down and ready to go. That's called a fakie. And this next move is what's called a bail. As with any sport that requires a lot of skill, speed, and balance, an eye should also be kept out for safety. Skateboarding's no different, and a lot of equipment has been designed specifically for skateboarders' security and safety. I'm with Mickey Alba right now. He's one of the top skating professionals, and Mickey is going to give us a rundown on some of the safety equipment designed for skateboarders.
Okay, first off, we have the high top shoe, which is mainly used for ankle support. Then next, we also have the knee pad, which a lot of the time skateboarders do fall between their knees, and it prevents scraping and bruises of the knees. And then next, we also have the elbow pad, which is designed to help your elbow. And then the most major part is the helmet. We have to protect our heads at all times. There are some other skateboarding equipment used for like a wrist, which is called a wrist brace, and they also use things like a shin guard to protect their shins. But the major parts of the safety equipment is the knee pad, the elbow pad, and the helmet.
These skaters are among the best in the world, but even they wear all that safety equipment. We're going to do a little preliminary warm-up skating right now. We have Jim Gray getting the crowd pumped with a nice invert. Here he's up doing another one, right in a row. Beautiful balance. That's called rock and roll. And that is a backside air. And yet another backside air. He's getting height going. Yeah, he feels good. He's going to stop right there. And next will be Christian Hosoi. Christian's going to tail drop in his first run with a backside air. That's called a method air. He arches his back. And that's a one-leg air. Here we see a judo air. Again, they're kicking their feet out. And that is a beautiful backside lean air and an air walk. You saw him kind of walk in the air there. Took his feet off the board. Unfortunately, the board got away from him. Next up, Steve Stedham. Steve starts off with a backside air and another backside air. Trying to get some height. And another one. Higher and higher each time. The crowd loves to see him go up in the air like that. It really gets him pumped. Board got away from him. It's now Tony Magnussen's turn. Tony's going to start off acid dropping in. That's a sad plant invert. A backside lean air. Another backside air. He's getting higher and higher each time. And another one. Tony's known for his high airs. Really gets up there. He's got the best view of this contest of anybody. And he's going to stall there. And a tail drop in. That's called an axle grind. And a fakie air. Didn't touch the board that time, you'll notice. A front side lean a tail. There's a front side air. And a beautiful invert. And Tony's going to call it quits right now and take a breather. Here we have Mickey Alba. Mickey's going to start with a rock and roll. That's called a fakie ollie. And a fakie rock and roll. And another fakie ollie. Mickey's on the comeback trail. When he was 14 years old, he was the top skater in the world. He kind of got out of it for a little while. He's 21 now. He wants to get back into the sport. As you can see, it doesn't look like he's lost it much. Beautiful invert there, just like a statue. There are two ways that the skaters start their routines. They're called drop-ins. There are two different types. This is called a tail drop. You see the tail of the board resting on the lip, and that is an acid drop. They actually drop sideways right down onto the ramp. It's a little more tricky. A little earlier, I mentioned that there were various styles of skateboarding besides ramp skating, namely street skating and pool skating. Each one offers something different to a skateboarder, and each one can be lots of fun. Street skating, for example, allows a skateboarder the opportunity to make use of all types of terrain. Anywhere the skater can find a stretch of pavement is a playground, and the more varied the terrain, the better. Street skating is freedom. Another style of skateboarding is pool skating. Usually found at skateboarding parks, they're actually empty swimming pools designed and built specifically for skating. Most of the maneuvers performed in a pool are similar to those done on a half-pipe ramp, yet the difference is in direction. That is to say, in a pool, a skater is not limited by the open sides of a ramp, and you can skate in any direction you choose. Oh, and a pool is not as hazardous to a cameraman as a ramp can be. Well, we're about ready to start the competition now. And Christian Hosoi will be the first skater. Here he is dropping in. And he's going to start with a beautiful method air and a backside air. Kicking the foot down, that's a judo air. And another backside air. You see Christian's getting higher and higher each time. That was an air walk. He's taking it to the skies, and the crowd loves it. They love to see these guys get way up in the air. And Christian is doing just what they're asking. You Stalls at the lip, acid drops in, more air. Christian knows how to work a crowd, and the judges are conscious of this too. Crowd reaction is something that they are paying attention to while they're scoring. There's a Smith grind. He catches his rear wheel on the lip of the ramp and loses it. That was beautiful, though. Nice ride by Christian. Let's look at this in slow-mo. There's that judo air. Beautiful. He kicks it out just like a martial arts movement. Christian's style is very smooth, very graceful. The judges appreciate that. That's why he's number 4 in the world. Well, folks, we're going to take a short break and be back. Stay with us. This contest looks like it's going to be a great one. In the meantime, let's watch and see what a roller skater can do on a ramp. Not bad at all. Back. Beach and the OP Pro Skateboard Championship. I'm Steve Jam, and we're into the competition now with Steve Stedham taking his turn on the ramp. Steve, long and lanky skater. That was a beautiful boneless, it was called. It's kind of almost like a toe dancer. Steve stalls on the lip and acid drops down. Nice backside air. And another backside air. Steve's going for the height. Beautiful. A whole series of high airs. The crowd really loves it. And he's going to keep doing those backsides. Another stall. Acid drops in. And, oh, nice invert. Nice invert. A plant there on the lip with his hand. They stand up like statues. It's called rock and roll. And Steve's going to call it quits on that run. That was a nice run for Steve Stedham. The crowd giving him a little encouragement. He's asking for it. And now we've got Mickey Alba. Mickey going with the backside airs. More air again. But see, it appears that the guys are trying to get the crowd worked up right now. It's early in the competition. I think they want to get the crowd on their side and get them excited. Mickey lost it then. Let's take a look at those backside airs. He gets a lot of height. Beautiful twisting motion. Nice and smooth, floating backwards counterclockwise. Now we have Gentleman Jim Gray with a nice frontside air, and there's an invert. That's called an Andrick invert. And a lot of these maneuvers I think are named after the people who invented them. That was a nice rock and roll. There's an axle grind and an acid drop in. A backside air. And another backside air. Oh, can't quite hang on to it. He bails out on that one. We have Tony Magnusson up now. Tony originally from Sweden. Tony, nice off the lip moves here. He's going to stall. Acid drops in. There's a beautiful backside air. And another one. Once again, they're going for the height and the crowd response. Tony is, as I said before, is well known for his high airs. I think he had the highest measured air in the world at one time. I don't know, he might still have it. He's getting up there now, and the crowd loves it. Beautiful twisting motion there, backside. And that was a front side air. There's an invert. And an ollie. Never touched the board. I don't know how they can do that. That's incredible to me. But they've got it wired. Nice twist. And another twist. Oh, Tony loses it. That's a tough maneuver, and it's awful hard to hang onto that board. You got the centrifugal force that makes it want to fly away. Let's look at that in slow motion. We've got beautiful, beautiful front side air. Back up the ramp. There's that invert. Takes a lot of balance. Here's the ollie. Now, he will not touch the board. Incredible. Absolutely incredible, and the crowd agrees. We've got Christian Hosoi ready now for his next run. Crowd waiting in anticipation. He drops in off the tail, and a nice backside air. And another one. And yet another one. That was a method air, just a variation. And another method air. That's a backside lean air. He's twisting the board. And an airwalk. Christian's getting tremendous height with these moves. Another beautiful frontside air. That's a judo air. Christian is hot right now, folks. And that's a frontside air. The axle stalls, acid drops in. Oh, yeah, backside air. And a Mick twist. Oh, couldn't quite handle it. There you saw one of the most difficult maneuvers in the whole sport. He almost had it, but he just wasn't able to hang on to the board. The crowd did appreciate that, though. Let's take a look at that. First of all, he starts with a backside air, sets himself up, takes that twist. He almost does a backflip, but he just can't hang on to the board and does lose it. Well, we've got Steve Stedham up next, and he's got a tough act to follow, but he's going to give it a shot. Before the competition, I asked Steve what it was like to skate in front of a crowd this size.
The bigger the crowd, the more louder the roar is, and that sort of gets you off a little bit. It's pretty rad. It gets, you know, adrenaline pumping more than if it's not that many people were there.
Well, Steve has really got his adrenaline pumping now. You saw that Smith grind. There's a rock and roll, and he's going to stall at the top. Acid drops in. Nice backside air. And another one. He's going for that height too, folks. He's got to keep up there with Christian. And another backside. Oh, cannot hang onto the board. You know, the whole sport of skateboarding started out simply enough. Old roller skate wheels on a 2x4, but time and improved technology have turned that crude piece of equipment into a precision instrument. The boards are mass-produced now with high-quality components. Wheels and trucks designed to withstand punishment and supply stability. The boards are thinner and wider now with a non-slip surface, and the construction ensures durability. Here you see the difference between a board made in the 1970s and one of the 80s. The newer boards are longer, wider, and much more stable. And because they're produced in quantity, they're affordable and easy to find, available to anyone who's interested in participating in the sport. I asked one of the stars of the sport, Mickey Alba, what it takes to win a skateboard competition.
Well, basically, it's staying on your board, trying to do a couple new maneuvers that you don't really see too often. And I don't know, the major thing is to stay on your board. A lot of people fall these days, and when you stay on, you win.
Well, Mickey's doing a good job of staying on his board right now, and he's getting a lot of air. There's a series of backside airs. There is a sweeper. That's called a sweeper. And that is a gray slide with a stall and then a tail drop in. That maneuver, gray slide, was named after the gentleman in this contest, Jim Gray. And there is a nice invert. And another invert. And yet another invert. Boy, he does that well. And there we have the Smith grind to a front side Lena tail. And that is an axle stall. Acid drops back in. Another backside air. And, oh, he was on a roll there, but he lost it, couldn't quite hang on. That was a good run for Mickey Elba, though. He should pick up a lot of points there. Let's look at this again. There's that invert. Beautiful balance, precision. He's back down, he never misses a beat. There's the Smith grind, dragging the rear truck of the skateboard along the lip. Here we have Jim Gray with a tail drop in, and he starts with a nice front side air. Beautiful invert. Another invert. Oh, cannot hang on, kind of loses it. Again, that takes a supreme effort and a lot of balance to pull that off. And these guys are very good at it. We have Tony Magnuson now, starting off with his patented airs, putting together some backside airs, higher and higher. Look at the height he's getting. This guy's the king, boy, I'll tell you, and he is really getting up there. And that's an ollie, no hands, beautiful. And an invert. Boy, I'll tell you, Christian ought to be quaking in his boots right now. Tony's making a charge. Oh, he's just not able to keep it going. Got away from him, but the crowd is appreciative. Tony Magnuson giving him a show. And here he is, Christian Hosoi, for his last run. Time is running out, so Christian's going to have to come up with something. That was a big point run for Tony Magnuson. I think he's going to have to come up with something special to take this away. And he's going to start off doing just like Tony. There's a nice judo air, beautiful, kicking down like a martial arts expert. Higher and higher he goes. And another, oh, that's a rocket air, grabs the board. And another backside air, and a McTwist, and he pulls it off. He actually pulls it off. Beautiful, the crowd is going crazy. That should be the trick to do it for Christian Hosoi, but he's still going. Another front side air and a backside air. He's just keeping the string going. Back and forth, higher and higher, as consistent as you can imagine. And he knows, folks, he knows. Christian Hosoi looks like, unless a miracle happens, it's going to be Christian. That was beautiful. A successful McTwist. Let's take a look at that again. He sets himself up with a backside air, gathers himself, launches into the air, twists his body, and makes it beautifully back up and running. Stay with us. We'll be right back with the result. Back to the conclusion of the OP Pro Skateboard Championship from Huntington Beach, California. The winner of the competition, Christian Hosoi. Christian, very good job out there. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Christian, what do you think was the maneuver or maneuvers that put you over the top?
Basically, McTwist, but you got to be able to be consistent, stay on, do a lot of hand plants, you know, aerials, grinds, lip tricks, and you got to go high. And plus the 540 helps in the end, especially if you make it.
And he made this one a flawless 1.5 rotation McTwist, giving Christian Hosoi the victory. Well, that about does it from Huntington Beach. The OP Skateboarding Championship again, captured by Christian Hosoi. A lot of enthusiastic fans here enjoyed the competition. Hope you did too. So from Huntington Beach, this is Steve Jam saying so long. Go nuts, guys.